It took me so goddamn long to set this up. I almost don't even want to tell you how long it took me. I almost want to keep it to myself. If you're asking me, hey Sam, how long I'm not telling you. I don't want to tell you how long it took me to set this up. I don't want to explain to you the amount of time and the process it took for me to get on my couch. Hold on. Let's start at the start. From the start to the beginning of the start.
It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and like have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy! The TV's leaking!
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cup's birthday, and this is Project X. Yo.
You're listening to Birdcore. For the love of God. It's Birdcore that you're listening to. You're listening to Birdcore. I'm Sam Bird. You knew that if you tuned in. I mean, I hope at least. I hope at least you knew that if you tuned in. I'm homeless in terms of a podcast space. I have no home. I have no studio. So if you look around the room, which I'll do, can I even turn this? Oh, I'm going to hit someone, and no one's even here. It's just me. I don't know how to. So if I turn, look, got my ring light, got my other ring light over there. Both ring lights are broken, by the way. So that's great. Both ring lights don't work. Well, they work, like the light is ringing, but one of them has like two legs, and I'm just balancing the third. And then the other one, I took it from work. They didn't need it. So I was like, can I have it? They were like, yeah, sure. See, and now literally both ring lights just went out. Oh, boy. Dada angry. Is it that big of a deal? Yeah, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it, and I'll be right back. Oh, I'm going to fix it good. But why would they both stop? Like, what if I just click them? Literally, I just click it, and it turns back on. Make it make sense. Oh, that one just turned off again. It's still off. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious me, oh my. Okay, hold on. Would just stay there. Okay, I like this lighting a lot better. It looks like my camera's about to die. Why can't I just have nice things? I don't get it. Welcome to Birdcore. Everything's finally set up. My broken ring lights are unbroken. They're probably still broken, honestly. They're probably still broken. Ask me if I care. I really do. I care so much, actually. How do I move these around? You know what? Just get comfortable, Sam. Well, as you can tell, I'm in my living room. Maybe you could tell that. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you've been here before. Maybe you haven't. If you have, please leave a review on Airbnb. Yeah, I'm renting it out now. You want to come stay the night? It's $6,000, please. I gotta pay tuition. Might make it $7,000. Yeah, well, I usually record Birdcore at school, which is TMU, which is Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly Ryerson. I'm canceled now for saying that. But I'm in my last semester. I'm graduating, ideally, in the spring. And every semester you have to reapply to be on the radio station to do these shows at school. My radio station is called, well, it's not my radio station. I don't own it. The radio station that I was doing, come on, dum-dum. The radio station I was at before doing the show, doing Birdcore, was called Spirit Live. And I applied. And, you know, I've had some notable guests, I like to think. And so I applied. And I had literally started lining up guests knowing that, okay, when the season starts, like, I'll be back to normal. I'll be back to, like, I'll be doing the show, you know, I'll have the guests. And then they hit me up and they were like, so sorry, Sam. Well, they didn't say so sorry. They didn't even say sorry. They said, unfortunately, I don't know word for word, but they were like, you ain't doing that shit no more. You ain't coming in and doing Birdcore, bucko. And I was like, all right, that's great. Actually, I wasn't like, all right, that's great. I emailed back and like, I emailed back with some attitude. I was like, Birdcore was nominated for Best Spirit Live show last year. And someone on the back end told me that it's the most listened to show. And I was basically like, I'm graduating now. I would like to take Birdcore elsewhere after I graduate. How could you do this? Oh my God, wah, 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 goo, goo, gaga. And then they were like, listen, bro, you old as hell. Get out. Like, we got to let the younger kids do this. And I was like, okay, that's a good point. But then maybe tell the graduating students that that they won't be able to do their show. Like, that's just an easier way, I think. Is just have them come in and be like, just know that they're not going to do it. Just crush the dreams earlier. It's just easier that way for everybody. So after a little bit of pondering, I was like, man, what do I do? How am I going to do this show? And then I kind of just started to think about it. I was like, Birdcore doesn't have any sponsors aside from door handles. I was trying to get a sponsorship with clothing for horses, because you know how when horses like go to the Kentucky Derby, like they're not dripped out. You look at like football players and hockey players and other sports players, when they show up before their game, they look good. They got the suit on. They're, it's their own style. When a horse shows up for the Kentucky Derby, I don't see any Prada loafers. Why aren't you putting in at least a little bit of effort? So that bothers me. So I was trying to get a sponsorship for clothing for horses, specifically pre-game clothing for the Kentucky Derby. That sponsored to Sally Sells Seashells fell through. And then the other sponsorship I was looking at was bricks, like just full-blown bricks, and make a good gift. And it's such a unique gift as well. You know what I mean? Like, today's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day if you're celebrating. I'm celebrating Valentine's Day. Not today, but I'm celebrating Valentine's Day this year. You know who you are. Don't make me. Yo, I'm kicking my feet and shit right now. Stop looking at me like that. So happy Valentine's Day. A great Valentine's Day would be a brick. You give it to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and they're like, oh my God, this is so heavy. You spoiled me. What is this? Is this like did you get me like a box of turtle shells? What is this? And then they open and they're like, shut up. A cherry red brick? Oh my God. I'm going to put this like on top of my sink in my bathroom. You shouldn't have. Brick also makes a great weapon. If you're in prison, which I like to think going to prison is the best way to get in shape. You have a meal plan. You have a gym. You can do sit-ups and push-ups, sometimes literally for the rest of your life. So you look at Gucci Mane when he came out of prison. I turned my head for a second. What was I talking about? Yeah, bricks. You get a brick in prison, someone wants to tussle. You get the idea. So those sponsorships fell through. Really, I've been left for dead here. I have no home for the podcast. Once again, no studio. I have no studio. I have no sponsors. No money coming in. This hat is really uncomfortable, but I'm wearing it all day, so I can't take it off. When you've been wearing a hat all day. Also, this is I have thick curly hair, so once I'm wearing a hat, the hat's on all day. That's how that works, tabarnak. So people were telling me, they're like, man, just record at home. I have an audio board. It's right there. I have a camera, which I got for Christmas from my mommy. She got me a camcorder. And it's cool because the quality's kind of okay. So it's like the camcorder podcast is what you can also call Birdcore. And then I have these ring lights. And I can't, I'm sitting too far to know if these ring lights are actually if they're working or if they're like, maybe they're like I look blind because the light's just shining on my glasses. I could take my glasses off. Oh my God, I look like a ghost. Notice how I could see better with my glasses off? That can't be good. Oh no, the quality's actually not that bad. Huh. No, the quality's actually, it's actually really not that bad. I'm sorry. I have my notes. Honestly, I kind of came into this and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be prepared at all for this. I kind of just felt like recording. My roommate, producer Kit, he's in editing class right now. So I was like, I mean, I kind of have time to just record right now. So here I am, just recording. I set these ring lights up. I almost broke a window out of frustration. I got my candles lit. You know what? This really isn't that bad. I don't know why I was complaining. Like, this is a great studio. The studio at school is way too hot. You can't drink in there. You can't smoke in there. I don't smoke in there. You can't eat in there. It's basically all you walk in, you hit record, and you sweat. And that's it. And you better hope you're in the studio at the end of the day. If you are sweaty, if you look like you just got off a water slide and it's like 10 a.m. and you have a whole day of classes, you're going to stank. You're going to stank and be sweaty. Nobody want to sit next to a sweaty stanker in class. Hell no. Sorry, I give you attitude right there. And one thing about being here also is that in Toronto, I don't have any pets. So I have a stuffed moose on my bed that I've had since I was born, but I got no pets here. Like, I don't have like a dog or a cat jumping on me. Back home in Montreal, I got 2 dogs and I got a cat. And I've had animals my whole life. Dogs, shout out Jasmine, she did. Shout out Zoe, she did. Shout out Sophie, she's still around. She's 13. So if I'm recording another episode in a year, you know, she may be in the other category. Knock on wood. I knocked on a couch. That can't be good. I got Frank the cat. Man, we used to have fish. We used to have a hamster. There's a great story about the hamster. I don't know if that's actually a great story. My mom, my sister, and I were in Toronto. And my brother was at home in Montreal having a party. It's funny. My mom and I, we were visiting Toronto, and then who knew? A few years later, I'd be living in Toronto. The universe just does its thing, girl. My brother had a house party, and then he hears screaming from my sister's room where the hamster was. And he goes, uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, what's going on in there? I'd better check it out. I don't know if that was his inner monologue. That's probably what mine would be. And then he walks in, and the girls are screaming because the hamster, Gertrude was the hamster's name. I forget the gender. And at this point of the story, it doesn't matter, actually. Gertrude was not moving. So Charlie goes, okay, that's bad. Charlie, he realizes, like, you know, this hamster, or maybe it was a gerbil. It was a little animal. Could have been a mouse, man. I do not know. I don't know where we got Gertrude from. I don't know the story. I've never known the story, the origin story of a Gertrude. And basically, Gertrude was dead, okay? That's what Gertrude died. And my sister, my mom, and I are in Toronto. This is my sister's hamster. Charlie's going, good darn, gosh darn it. Well, I guess the hamster's dead. I'll bury it in the morning after my party, is probably what his inner monologue was saying. Next morning rolls around. He calls me. I'm at breakfast with my mom and my sister. He calls me. I say, what's up? Or I could have said hello. He goes straight off, jump to it. Gertrude is dead. I'm sitting across from my mom, and I do one of these. Okay. And my mom is like, what? And then my sister happened to not be there, thankfully. Never thought I'd say those words. And I talked to Charlie. I'm like, okay, here's mom. And then, you know, my mom and I have to go the whole day without telling Allie that this hamster's dead and Charlie's burying it in a Tupperware in the backyard. Charlie, as he's burying, these are all fictional names for the sake of the story. And not Gertrude, though. Charlie goes to bury this. We don't have a shovel, so he takes like a cake spoon and buries it out. And there's two versions of the story. Our version, the one that I like the most, is that Charlie left Gertrude in the Tupperware, sitting on the trampoline, went and did something else before burying Gertrude, forgot about this Tupperware gerbil hamster on the trampoline in like June. So the sun cooked this hamster through the Tupperware and like melted this hamster. That's the story we like to use. The story Charlie likes to use, as if he was there, is that he buried Gertrude and then just didn't dig deep enough. So basically all the animals and whatever else was in our neighborhood, skinwalkers, dug Gertrude up and ate Gertrude. Through the Tupperware? I don't know. To make a long story short, man, do not get a hamster gerbil. It's not worth it. And if you do get a hamster gerbil, keep your sister's door closed. This is not a life lesson for anybody. But yeah, I don't have pets here in Toronto. That's what I'm trying to get at. Also, the weather has been weird. It's February 14th again. Happy Valentine's Day. Get a brick. And there's like no snow. It's cold, yeah, but like last week was like 15 degrees. I'm thinking to myself, we're going to die. 15 degrees on like February 9th. I should not be wearing shorts right now, but I am. 10 years ago, if it was February 9th, you know, I'm knee deep in the snow looking for a hockey puck I shot over the boards at the outdoor rink. This year, February 9th, I'm at the local pool getting my laps in outside. We're gonna die. Aren't we? Like, I hate to think that way, but I mean, think about it. It's hot outside, and it's not supposed to be hot like this. We haven't even covered the furniture on the patio because there's been no snow. I haven't even worn my snow pants to school yet because there's been no snow. How about them apples? I got to give a shout out to Josh Willick. Josh has been pushing me and telling me that I should be doing more solo episodes of Birdcore. This is now technically my third solo episode. My second one was with producer Kit, but he kind of kept his mouth shut the whole time and let me do my thing. And Willick was like, man, you got to do the solo episodes. I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I guess this is also a way for me to work on material if I ever want to do stand-up. But the bad part is I don't know if you're laughing or not. So I could be saying all of this, and maybe you turned it off within the first 2 minutes. And if you did, then you're not hearing me say this. So, but I'd like to do more solo episodes. It's easier when producer Kit isn't home because when he is home, I feel, you know, like it's a shared space. I don't want to take up so much of the shared space, you know, because some of it's his. And we like to keep this place clean for the most part. So I don't know. I don't want to be like, you know, making too much of a mess while he's here. My first time having a roommate. Speaking of roommates and messes, my buddy, I will keep his name out of this for the sake of the story, but he's a buddy back home in Montreal, has his own place with a roommate, and one day he was making craft dinner, and this was like 3 a.m, and we were on FaceTime. I don't know why I was up at 3 a.m, but he was making craft dinner, and he had been drinking, you know, a little bit, had a sip or two, 3. I'm not judging. And he spilled craft dinner all over the place. On his computer, on the floor, on the counter, craft dinner everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm on a FaceTime while this is happening. And then instead of, you know, the normal human being approach where you would take a paper towel and wipe it, clean it, this guy took the in-house, like the vacuum unit, and started vacuuming this craft dinner. And I don't know, when I was younger, if I was vacuuming, I would think to myself, okay, this will just disappear because that's what's happening. It's being sucked into the universe and it's gone now. It's evaporating. It turns out that's not true. It turns out when you vacuum something, it goes somewhere else because it's a collection of atoms. So this dude was vacuuming craft dinner just like literally into the walls. Vacuuming like piping hot cheesy craft dinner with milk and butter, likely. That's how I do it. Into just the wall unit where the vacuum stuff goes. And a few months went by and he didn't think much of it. And then his landlord is like, hey, why does the vacuum not work and smell terrible? And my buddy's going, I don't know. What? And then I think eventually he did confess to the murder of the craft dinner in the walls. Crazy, though. Like, if your counter's clean, eat it, right? I don't know. Or use a paper towel. Anyway, I'm not making craft dinner with him. And we're not going vacuuming together. That'd be a cool activity, vacuuming. Like, if you're a neat freak, first date idea, that should be, because there's something so satisfying about having a clean space. That would be a great, like, instead of going out for dinner, going to a movie, go to a messy, dirty box and vacuum it. That's a great first date. Slide in the DMs. Hey. Hi. You're fire. Thanks. Do you want to, like, go vacuum? Oh. Okay. Cool. Let's go to Dusty's Dirt Box on Saturday. Like, that'd be a great date idea. You know what I mean? I might have just done something. I actually might have just created something right there. Please don't steal that idea. Like, actually. I knew this one guy. No, he told me his idea, and I promised I wouldn't tell him. And I kind of forgot. Probably wasn't a good idea anyway. What am I talking about? I'm looking at my notes here. I have just a collection of notes from over time, like different topics. But like some of this, I don't remember what I was thinking. Like one just says cat piss. Another one says good Call of Duty maps. What? I think the cat piss one is when I used to play hockey. I would bring my equipment to the game ideally. And I was really, really bad about airing out my equipment. Like, it was disgusting. I'm a clean person now, but it was disgusting. And I think basically, I used to leave my hockey equipment downstairs when we had cats. And I think I was taking out my jersey one game, and I was going, what's this yellow stain that smells sour? And it quickly dawned on me that my jersey was covered in cat piss. Like, I don't just mean a splotch. Like, I looked like I was wearing a penny on my jersey. And I think I had a multi-goal game, so I think I found my new superstition. But some of these other notes, like tuna Subway. Okay, what about it? Like, are you talking about a tuna sandwich at Subway, or are you talking about a tuna infestation on the Subway? Like, is there a group of tuna wearing, a sport jacket with briefcases, getting off at Queen Station? Or are you talking about ordering a tuna sandwich at Subway, which I did a lot when I was younger? So it's probably that. And it has nothing to do with the tuna fish getting off at Queen Station. Oh, one of these other notes says, okay, I want to have kids one day. Pending the earth doesn't kill us, I'd like to have kids. I have names picked out already, so that's set. If I have a boy, Should I even say this? Yeah, Beau, Beau. And River would be good as well. I'd like to have a name River. And then if I have girls, that's a conversation that I feel like would be more. I don't know. I'm not set on girl names yet. I know if I have 2 boys, I know the boy, and River could be a girl too. River Bird, isn't that cool? I'm hoping you said yes. I don't have girl names decided yet, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I have here in my notes, if my kid goes out, like if my kid is going to school, if my kid is going to get groceries, if my kid is going to marching band practice, I want my kid, for my boys, to be wearing a shirt and tie. And I don't think I mean it in a serious manner. I think literally one day, if they're just like, I just want to wear a tie today. Put it on, boy. Straighten your back. Chin higher. Salute. No, but I think it's cool to wear a shirt and tie out. It's just fun. Someone's like, why are you wearing a shirt and tie? You're like, I don't know, felt like it. There was a guy in my class today wearing a shirt and tie. I have more respect for that guy now. I don't remember his name. It was a cool name. It was Levi. I remember the name. I just didn't know if I should say it or not. Oh, we're half an hour deep here, I think. I'm looking at the soundboard over there. I'm starting to run out of stuff to say. So I guess I'll wrap it up with a story about a substitute teacher I had in science class. And this teacher, oddly enough, would only substitute science class, but he wouldn't talk about science. He was a former NFL guard for the Miami Dolphins. So first of all, I'm like, why are you our substitute teacher? What do you know about grade 8 science? And then he would come to our class. It was like once a year probably. And he would just repeat the story about how he got gonorrhea. And I'm sitting there thinking like, aren't we going to talk about electrons? Like, we have a test next week. And he's telling us, you know, we're 13 maybe? We've never even thought about intercourse yet. Why is this man telling us I don't even want to say it. I'm not going to. Why is he talking to us about this? I'm sitting up. It's getting serious. And he would come and do it like once a year. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what is the point of this? Like, yes, we're going to remember this. And, okay, yes, we'll use protection one day. But, oh, my God, excuse me, I burped. Oh, good heavens. But he was going in detail about, yeah, I slept with my teacher. Like, oh, wow. Okay, great. We have math class in 10 minutes. And then my other teacher, and then my first teacher again. I'm like, Jesus, did you graduate? Were your grades good? Why haven't we seen this in the news? How old were you? Like, what? Why are you substituting our science class? You know, kids are crying in the back. One kid threw up on another kid. And yeah, I don't know what he's up to now, but he would substitute at other schools. And I think he would just go around and talk about his G word. Anyway, thinking back about it now, it doesn't make sense. But I hope he's doing well. Did you know Bo hiccups? Bo Jackson had the hiccups for years. If I had the hiccups for years, I would probably remove my diaphragm. Also, how do you sleep? Also, like, how do you do literally anything? If I have hiccups for more than 10 minutes is way too much. If I have hiccups for more than a minute, I feel like it's one of the worst things ever. In my opinion, that has happened to me. I've also gotten 2 severe concussions. We'll see if that fights back later on. But for now, the worst thing that I've experienced is hiccups. And I'm thinking about that on the spot. I'm sure if I really thought about it, There's probably worse stuff that's happened, yes. But what's worse than hiccups to happen to you? I don't know about this whole hiccup bit. I can't lie. I don't know about this whole hiccup bit. I might have to kill it. I might have to kill this whole hiccup bit. There's a lot worse things. There are infinitely worse, terrible things that have happened to people than hiccups. I really want to eat an apple right now. Well, I have nothing else to talk about. That's it. It's been like 30 minutes-ish. You know, if I was in the studio, I'd probably have a guest, and we have a full 17 minutes left to do. And I would be more prepared than I am now. I literally just turned on my camera and turned on my 2 broken ring lights, might I add. But they've held up pretty good, actually. They're both at really opposite, different. They're both at really different heights. Whatever. Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's Valentine's Day. There are people out there that love you. I know deep down that you love people as well. But there are people out there that are thinking about you and that love you and want the best for you. You just need to be the best version of yourself, and that is enough. Those people love you for that version of you. You don't have to go out and pretend to be anybody else. You don't have to go sleep with your teachers and get sexually transmitted diseases. You don't have to kill a hamster. Just be you. People love you for that. I love you for that. Unless I don't love you for that. But I do in this case because I'm on camera right now saying it. So, stay true to yourself. Tell your mother and father and siblings and everybody that you love them. And I mean it. I don't live at home with my family. It gets very lonely sometimes. I'm lucky I have a very supportive group here. I have people that love me here, and I'm grateful for that. But if you are fortunate enough to be with your family, tell them you love them. Hug them. Kiss them appropriately. Well, I didn't need to add that last part. But yeah, man. That's all I got today. I'm dry. I'm out. I'm tapped out. Tuna Subway. Another note says picnic at dog park. What the hell does that mean? All right, well, that's going to be it then. I'm all out. Oh, I almost broke the camera. How's this quality? It's not great, actually. I'm growing my mustache again, so do with that information what you will. All right, y'all. Okay, goodbye. I don't know how to sign off, so I'm just gonna sign off. Goodbye.
It's like a dream of mine to completely blow out and have to restructure my knee.
We've communicated and said, you know what? Lion tastes good. Let's go get some more lion.
Cindy? The TV's leaking.
McLovin?
Yeah. Today is Thomas Cub's birthday, and this is Project X, yo.